What is up, everybody? Welcome to another off-season video. Last week, we took a look at every single sack that Derek Carr took last season. This week, we're going to look at the interceptions that he threw. We're also going to throw in Spencer Rattler's interception. So we're just going to do a complete interception review of the New Orleans Saints. Let's get into it. Okay, on this first play here, the very first interception of the season came against the Dallas Cowboys. Now, we know this game ended up being a blowout. This interception occurred in the fourth quarter of the game. And, this, like I said, was a blowout and it was almost flawless, right? This was almost a flawless, performance from the New Orleans Saints, but Carr did throw an interception in the fourth quarter, like I said, but it wasn't a blowout, so it didn't really affect the game at all, but it did happen. So let's go over it. The Saints are just going to run this little play action, drift swirl is what they call it in the 49ers terminology or the Shanahan terminology. So it's going to be, we got the end from Chris Olave, who's going to end up with the ball or the ball thrown at him, and then we're going to get the kind of post corner from Rashid Shaheed, right? And Chris Olave does come open, right? Because the Cowboys actually bite on this play action pretty heavily, and it sucks up all of these linebackers, and they're just going to be playing, basically turns into man to man here. So let's go ahead and press play, see how it plays out. Pay attention to the play action here that kind of sucks up all these linebackers. It's going to clear up this space in the middle of the field. Carr throws the ball to Olave, who again is wide open, but he just makes a bad throw, right? Just makes a bad throw. It goes over the head of Chris Olave and it gets intercepted. So, first interception of the season came from Derek Carr, and it just came from an errant throw. All right, the next interception here came at a pretty brutal time against the Philadelphia Eagles. Came in the fourth quarter. There was 55 seconds left. The Saints were down by 3 points. The score was 15-12. Derek Carr trying to lead a game-winning drive here. And the Saints, what they're trying to do is they're trying to get Shaheed here on this little like spear route, or whatever you want to call it, kind of just coming through the middle of the defense here. We got Olave with a deep in behind it, and then we got kind of like a curl here from Mason Jordan or Tipton, not Mason Jordan, Mason Tipton, right? And so what we get here is the Eagles pre-snap. They're showing too deep, right? We got a safety here. We got a safety here. It looks like it's going to be a middle of the field open coverage, right? Which would, this route from Shaheed would come open against, right? In theory. But the Eagles post snap, they're going to rotate down, right? They're going to rotate a safety down, and they're going to end up playing middle of the field closed with one safety deep. And he's going to cut that off, right? He's going to cut off any kind of post route or any type of route like Shaheed runs from the middle of the field, and he's going to step up and he's going to intercept this ball from Derek Carr. Derek Carr is under pressure here, as you can see, and he just kind of panics and makes another errant throw. So there you see the pressure. He kind of gets happy feet. He just chunks the thing up in the air, and it's picked off by that safety, right? Eagles were playing some tight man-to-man coverage. And again, like you have the deep safety back here. He just reads Derek Carr, and he breaks on the ball. But again, the pressure did have a lot to do with this. We all know Derek Carr don't play well under pressure. And when you add that with a clutch situation, he kind of just, panics and throws it up. So let's take a look from the end zone view here. See, he kind of just panics and says, you know what, screw it, somebody's down there, and throws it, and the ball is picked off, and the Saints lose the game. All right, next interception of the season came against the Atlanta Falcons. This time they're trying to hit Chris Olave right here with this little wide receiver screen. You're going to see some offensive linemen start to leak out here, but Derek Carr, he kind of double clutches it because he sees Matthew Judon right here on the edge coming off the edge right there. See, he kind of double clutches it and then throws it, and then it gets tipped and intercepted, right? So I think, without the double clutch, and as you can see, it was, returned for a touchdown. So a pick six, if you will, right? So let's take a look at this again. I think if he just throws it right now when it's intended to be thrown, Chris Olave, maybe, I guess number 20 was coming in the way. So that's probably why he double clutched it. Let's see. Let's rewind it back again. Yeah, throw it now. Yeah, he probably sees 20, decides to double clutch it. Probably, it looks like he ended up trying to throw it just in the ground, but it kind of bounced and hits off of Matthew Judon's shoulder pad or helmet, it looks like, and then it's tipped in the air. And then, of course, with typical Saints luck, it lands right in the arms of a defender, and it's ran back for a pick six. So this one just kind of a sloppy play overall. Okay, next one here. This one is against the Kansas City Chiefs, and I believe this was a Monday Night Football game, if I remember correctly. And this was on the opening drive. The Saints make a couple of nice plays. They make it into Chiefs territory, right? And it's again another just panic throw from Derek Carr under pressure. He just kind of throws this thing up and just it just gets intercepted, right? I don't know if he was trying to throw it away, if he was trying to throw it to Shaheed. I don't know what he was trying to do, but again, another instance of Derek Carr being under pressure and him just kind of panicking and doing something like this, right? And the Chiefs they're going to run like a like a nickel pressure with cover two behind it, with the deep safeties out here, right, in the clouds, a couple guys underneath as well, and he's gonna have Chris Olave right here as a hot throw, right? The nickel is the one who blitzes, right? And what are quarterbacks taught to do? Replace the blitzer, throw the ball where that defender would have been. In this case, it's Chris Olave, and he sits right here, and he's gonna be wide open because the guy that's coming to defend him is way over here, right? So I just don't understand why we had to panic here. I mean, I get there's a guy in your face, right? But you have to trust your protection. Trust what you have called. AK steps up and at least gets in the way of the guy, right? Puts his body on the line, gets in the way of the guy. When you're back here, you're good, man. Look, he's hitting the Michael Jackson pose. You don't have to do that. Hit your man Chris Olave right here, who's wide open. You know, up here at the top, you had a beater called as well. You had the high low on this defender. Yeah, but probably didn't have time, obviously, to get to that. But here, you got to notice that it's the nickel blitzing, and let's hit the receiver, right? I don't know. And he just throws it up. Picked. All right, now it's Spencer Rattler's turn. This is when he stepped in when Derek Carr got injured the first time. And this time against the Buccaneers, they're going to be playing some tight man-to-man coverage. And he's going to be looking for Shaheed kind of on this crosser, right? You got single high safety over here. And the throw is somewhat open, right? It is open. It's the NFL. You got to make this throw, right? But Spencer Rattler just kind of underthrows it, right? There's the play action, the tight man-to-man coverage, safety way up here. Shaheed, we know Shaheed is fast, right? Put this thing out in front of him out here and let him make a catch. And, who knows? Maybe he could catch it towards the sideline, keep running, beating this safety. But again, it's just underthrown from Spencer Rattler. Again, the Bucs were running some pressure here. Okay. There's the play action. Boom. Step up. Yeah. Just an underthrown ball that is intercepted. Nothing more. All right, next one here again from Spencer Rattler in that same game, actually. And this one, it's just a bad read. Bad read. This was covered all the way. The Saints are going to run this little spacing concept where you got, you're gonna have like an out, sit, sit, and Rattler. I mean, you can see this defender is in front of him the entire way, and Rattler's throwing it right to him, and obviously it's intercepted, right? And at this point in the game, he's just trying to make a play. He's desperate. But this is just the defender read this the entire way. You can see as soon as the ball is snapped, he's buzzing out here to the flats. He's in front of him the whole way. And it's just a terrible, terrible read from Spencer Rattler. Next one of the season came from Taysom Hill. Our boy Taysom Hill, he's just going to try to hit Scantling on this post, and this can't be thrown, right? Again, you see the safety here in the middle of the field cutting anything off, that comes in the middle like posts, and it shouldn't have been thrown, right? Taysom Hill should have seen this post snap and decided not to throw this thing. But instead, we get the little play action. He tries to throw it, it's underthrown and intercepted, right? Ball again should have never been thrown at all. And yeah, that's that. Next one here, hopping back over to Derek Carr returning from injury. And this time you're going to get the in with kind of the deep, streak post, whatever it turns into. Can't really tell what the intentions were. But again, you're going to have pressure on Derek Carr. And again, he kind of just doesn't step into it. And he just floats this thing up in the air and it's going to be picked off, from the defender, right? So looks like the Giants are going to be playing cover three with the three deep safeties. And 37 here is going to take 81. And it's just picked off, right? And let's take a look at the pressure, Derek Carr. And this, by the way, should have never happened. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And also you get a wide receiver helping here. So really you have 8 Saints initially protecting. And you get beat over here from number 0 on the left side. And this, to me, well, it's not to me, but Juwan Johnson obviously gets beat inside pass protecting there, right? And Fuaga was a little late coming over to help him because of the inside threat from the linebacker. But nonetheless, Derek Carr here again with pressure, kind of just instead of, you can see how he doesn't really step into the throw because he knows he's going to get hit. I mean, watch him, right? He kind of just throws this thing arm only instead of stepping into it. And in turn, it just kind of floats. The ball dies midair and it's picked off by the New York Giants. All right, next one came from young Jake Haener when he stepped in against the Commanders trying to get his chance at a starting job. And this one, it's your typical young, oh, not rookie, but young quarterback mistake of scrambling out of the pocket and just deciding to kind of throw across your body, and it gets intercepted, right? Obviously, just a bad decision from a young player. And, that's that. He was benched at halftime of this game. Just a bad decision. When you get to this point, man, just throw it away. Live to fight another day. Okay, back to Spencer Rattler. Now, this one came against the Green Bay Packers, and this play, the Saints are trying to hit Y leak. So basically, they're going to fake the run to the left with the play action. They're going to try to leak the tight end all the way across here and up the formation or up the field. And a lot of times you'll see that the defense completely doesn't account for him, and he ends up being wide open, right? And Spencer Rattler, he throws it, right? It is not open at all, but Spencer Rattler still takes the shot. And I think, there were some options he could have gone with instead. So there's the play action, right? You got the other routes on the field, and then here's where the tight end is leaking out, right? And you can see 24, he actually does a good job of recognizing what's going on. He's like, oh, wait, there's a tight end behind me, right? And 39 also notices it, and he speeds up the field. But in this time, the ball, is already out of Rattler's hands, and 39 comes and picks it off. So really, it's a couple things, right? It's the ball probably shouldn't have been thrown because of the coverage over top, but it's also a really good play defensively, So at this point, Rattler, he's waiting for it. But when he sees 24, he probably should have got off of this thing. Either that or try to, rifle this thing somewhere in here. But again, from the far hash all the way over here, just an incredibly difficult throw. Maybe, as he progresses as a quarterback, you'd like to see him come off of it and just hit his fullback up here in the flat who is wide open, right? But, young gunslinger, he's going to try to throw that thing and it gets picked off, and again, like, who knows, maybe with a little bit better of a throw, he could have fit this thing in on the sideline. But again, it's an incredibly difficult ask because of where he is on the hash and where the ball would need to be. So that is another one from Spencer Rattler. All right, next one here again with Rattler. This play, the Saints are essentially going to try to run verticals, right? But it's covered nicely from the Raiders here. So you're going to get verticals, and then you're going to have 11 out here, kind of waiting with a check down. And again, it's a really nice job over here on the right side, especially from, I believe it's number 5, this guy right here, kind of feeling the tight end, like kind of bending inside, right? You can see he kind of gets in front of 87 there. And Spencer Rattler, he feels a little bit of pressure in the pocket right here, and he kind of just, maybe panics a little bit, kind of throws off platform when he really didn't need to. He could have set his feet and, made a more accurate throw, but instead he throws it. The ball goes over 11's hands and boom, right into the hands of a Raiders defender who makes a really nice interception here with the diving catch. So again, really nice job on the front side of the concept from the Raiders defense. It was all, blocked up. Tries to come back down to the check down and just kind of airmails it when he really didn't have to. You'd like to see him again set his feet here, just quickly reset his feet and make an accurate throw if you're going to get rid of it. All right, next one here and final interception of the season, again from the agenda, Spencer Rattler here. He's going to look for the tight end coming across the field, and the safety is going to come down and just completely rob the ball from Juwan Johnson. Really beautiful play from the Raiders safety, if we're being honest here. So, again, we're just trying to hit Juwan Johnson over here. It's going to end up being like cover one cross, I believe is what, some teams call it. So you're going to get the safety deep back here. This guy is kind of looking for any crossers coming across the field, hence cover one cross, right? You got man right here. You got this guy who's kind of, green dogging the running back. He's got him in man coverage, but if he stays in to protect, he can kind of blitz or just hang around and read the quarterback's eyes. But you can see again, this safety back here just makes an incredible play on the ball, right? I mean, sees it all the way, sees the tight end coming across, breaks on it, boom, intercepts it. Beautiful play. And this game was out of reach here. And he goes down. And that is all of the interceptions that the New Orleans Saints threw this season. Appreciate you guys watching. Peace.